for I found the laws that calculate the end of waves. The primary sequence wraps waves in 7 stages in a sequence that never changes. The code represents an interlocking series, cycling infinitely into the future. Some of the expected properties of waves flowing from left to right also flow from right to left. An example of this palindrome nature of waves is wave 2 can be tiny but also wave 6 can be tiny. Wave 1 can look like 3 waves and so can wave 7. These laws seem to govern movement, growth, sound waves, ocean waves, the proportions of our bodies, spiral shells, and the financial markets. Is it the law of everything? All things comprised of energy seems subject to this law of cycles in wave principle. Possibly a grand unified theory, the sequence repeats forever. Charts appear random because of variable ratios. Introduction to Quantum Physics. The beginning is in the end. It's been 11 years since my initial research began. It's been 3 years since the first publishing of Seventh Wave Principle. In February 2021, while I was trying to illustrate how waves nest inside each other in time, I've branched into quantum physics, combining it with my findings and they're verifying each other. In the end I found out wave principle's relationship to quantum physics, which turns out to be the perfect beginning for the story of Sutherland wave principle to begin. We're going to look at a few essential concepts in quantum physics that underpin the story of Seventh Wave Principle. I've been keeping a close eye on social media posts from the leaders of quantum physics through 2020 over 2021. I've gone back into my research and realized I've discovered waves break down into 3 distinct degrees and I began modeling this into dimensions. Then I was trying to work out how to visualize time growing in octaves in 3 dimensions as I see it through Seventh Wave Principle. I drew various models based on rectangles, imagining our cubes constructed in minutes nesting inside each other growing in octaves. I remembered the flower of life pattern and tried to model time using circles but didn't get very far on my own and gave up. 5. So I was kind of stuck in a funk. I had come so far in my ability to define the story of Seventh Wave Principle, but the story was not complete until it was woven into the fabric of the quantum realm. I often open Instagram and look at the great geometry posts from Jane 108 Math and Nassim Haramein. Well, this night I got stuck. Nassim Haramein had made a post about flower of life geometry and I began to research it. I happened upon the website cosmockery.org by Renee Hadley, creator of the free library. Renee's website cosmockery.org is packed with information on sacred geometry. There you'll find an abundance of information regarding flower of life geometry, sacred numbers and many more lessons and studies revealing the mysteries of the universe. I studied the free library articles 14, 65 and 66 that define a lot of the 6 mathematics and concepts relating to the Seventh Wave Principle. Finally, I could learn more about quantum physics in some detail and move forward with the story of Seventh Wave Principle as it relates more widely to the natural world through quantum physics. Space Article 65 number Hexad Part 5 Cesar Round 1 and Flower Rose Life by CosmicCore.org. After reading Article 65, I've learned this story about the power of the flower. The flower of life is a symbol revered throughout the world dating back to ancient times. The flower of life pattern is said to contain within its proportions every single aspect of life, every single mathematical formula, every law of physics, every harmony of music, every combination of biological life, every atom, every dimensional level and absolutely everything else that is within the waveform universe. 7 Fig Cento Life. The seed of life Genesis pattern is widely recognized in science as the geometry of the fabric of space-time, the web that underlies reality, and it is first mentioned in the emerald tablets of Top Fig. In this pattern 6 circles perfectly fit around a 7th circle, revealing perfect nesting. This arrangement of circles points to the 6 directions: north, south, east, west, up and down. The flower of life vortex motion spirals outward and forms the fruit of life, revealing Metatron's cube, which contains all the Platonic solid shapes and the geometric ratios for light and music. Fig B. 8 Fig B. Ratcheting. Ratcheting means rotating a shape a certain number of degrees a certain distance. The seed of life is secreted by ratcheting a circle around a second circle at 60-degree intervals. 77 circles completes one seed of life pattern. The flower of life can be created EBE ratcheting the seed of life, drawing a second outer layer of circles. This process creates a 2D representation of closely packed spheres. 9. This pattern can go on forever but is commonly stopped at 19 circles, enclosing it in the zona pellucida, a border around mammalian eggs in a womb. I can't see. 10. That the flower of life pattern is creating a web of octave 7s formed by the